Hi, this is Leanne Dahan, Multimedia Specialist for Industrial Safety and Hygiene News. And today I'm joined by Bruce Todtfeld, Business Unit Director at Keen. Welcome, Bruce. Thanks for sitting down with me today.
Thank you very much.
So, Keen is an outdoor footwear brand that started back in 2003. And I'm sure there have been advancements in materials since then. So, could you tell me a little bit about how innovations are helping support trends in safety footwear?
Absolutely. We try to balance a number of different things when we're designing work safety footwear. We're really kind of tuned into not only the safety requirements, but comfort, fit, performance, quality, and we're also known for innovation. And so I have a few of our latest innovations that I want to share with you. This is called the Troy. It's a new boot that we just launched, one of our most innovative. And one of the first things that you probably notice is this grid pattern over the top of the foot. What this part does, it's called Keen Bellows Flex, is it promotes flexibility. So if somebody is walking a lot or they're bending or they're on their knees and they're flexing, this enables the boot to flex up to 3 times easier than a traditional leather boot. So that's Keen Bellows Flex. Another interesting innovation that is also in the Troy is this little yellow piece in the heel. It's called Loof Core. This is a direct attach boot, which means that in this case, this rubber outsole and this leather upper are fused together with PU that's injected between the two, and it forms a very strong, durable, flexible, comfortable bond. It's lightweight. And this little yellow piece here is a little bit softer than the rest of this midsole. And so what happens when someone takes a step, their heel strikes the ground and this little yellow piece absorbs force. And so the force is not translated back up the leg, it's actually absorbed in the heel. So this is the first visible heel cushioning technology in a direct attach work boot in the US, and something we're very proud of. We also have a few other things I want to share with you. This boot is called the Dearborn. And it might not look like a traditional work boot to you. The upper material is an engineered textile that we call Keen Flex Armor. It's literally 10 times more abrasion resistant and durable than a traditional textile or leather. So the upper of this boot will be intact long after the rest of the boot is worn. Also in the rear here, you see this part. This is called Connect Fit. This part actually is a heel capture system that keeps the heel in the back of the boot, keeps the foot properly placed in the boot. So over the course of the day, you're a lot more comfortable because you're properly positioned. Those are some interesting innovations that are new to our line. One that's not new to our line, but is a key innovation from Keen, has to do with our wide toe box. All of our products have a wide toe box. Medium heel, wide toe box. So over the course of the day, your feet swell. You want to have a little bit of extra room to move your toes around. Our toes are asymmetrical. So just like your feet, left and right. So our toes, we're known for toe protection. So obviously the Keen toe bumper is kind of iconic on all Keen product. And then when it comes to the safety toes that we use, we've started to use a lot more carbon fiber, which is in my right hand, than steel, which is traditionally what's been used. And so while both of these are great materials to meet the impact and compression that they need to in order to be certified, the advantage of a carbon toe is it's 15 to 20% lighter weight than a steel toe. It also will not conduct heat or cold. And if somebody's working around a metal detector, if they have a job, say, working in an airport, and they're wearing a non-metallic, a boot that's non-metallic with a carbon toe, they can go through the metal detector and they won't set it off. So it's a real advantage for them.
So, as there's an increase in manufacturing and warehousing jobs, what would you say is the importance of securing PPE for this new workforce?
Yeah, so it's a great question. It's very interesting. Even before COVID, we were noticing a real trend towards warehousing distribution, light manufacturing, assembly, and delivery types of jobs in the economy. They're growing at a disproportionate rate. With COVID, it's increased, exponentially, right? When you think about how we all get our goods now delivered to us. And so what's happening is, in addition to those occupations going through the roof, from a numbers perspective, you also have a younger generation, the millennial generation, a couple of years ago in the workforce, overtook the boomers as the largest generation in the workforce. And these are folks that have been brought up on athletic shoes. They don't have the same kind of traditions when it comes to wearing work safety footwear that maybe their parents had. And so there's a huge trend toward what we call athletic work footwear. And this example that I'm holding up is Vista series, something that we launched last spring, very successful. The first thing that you notice is that this doesn't look like a work shoe. This looks like an athletic shoe. But don't let the looks fool you. It has all of the safety features that you would want to have in those types of jobs. So it's got a carbon fiber toe. It's non-metallic. It has that connect fit part that I talked about, the heel capture that keeps your foot properly positioned in the shoe. It's very lightweight, very breathable, and it has a proprietary midsole polymer called Regen. Regen is advantageous over regular compression molded EVA that you find in athletic shoes for a few reasons. One is it's a little bit lighter weight. Another is that it provides rebound. So there's about 50% energy return. So anytime you take a step in one of our products with Regen, you actually feel, you can actually feel the energy return. A little pep in your step, if you will. And then it also won't break down and compress over time like traditional EVA does. And so we have a variety of different styles for men and women's in this series. And then we have another related series called the Red Hook, which also has lots of the features and benefits I just showed you on the Vista. But the big difference is you can see the upper here is kind of a hybrid between an athletic shoe and an outdoor shoe. And it's also waterproof. So if somebody's working indoors and outdoors and maybe encountering wet conditions, something like this gives them some added benefits.
And then I'm sure providing the right products to workers is one way to encourage and empower newcomers who join the skilled trades. So could you touch on that a bit and maybe provide other ways to encourage workers to join the field?
So a great example of this is what we're doing with women. And so more and more women are entering the workforce in these types of jobs. And traditionally, they've been forced to make a compromise. And that compromise has always been brands offer smaller men's sizes for ladies. And so we don't subscribe to that at Keen Utility. We've broken that compromise. We make women's products with a women's last, meaning the foot frame that the shoe's built around is made for a woman's foot, and we size them for women. And so, for example, this is the women's San Jose. Everything about this boot is just as good as the men's. Same material, same construction, same high quality, same function, but built on a woman's last, size for a woman. So she doesn't have to buy a men's smaller boot that may or may not fit her correctly. She can buy the right size for her in a women's size. We have a variety of different styles for ladies built on a women's last, ranging from athletic work shoes like the Vista to boots like the San Jose to heavier duty product like our Cincinnati. And we're also introducing our first American built women's style this fall called the Dover.
Would you say there is a gap in the skilled trades? And do you think there's enough opportunity for women to join the industry?
I think there are opportunities, but I think that the industry needs to sort of catch up to itself in terms of the PPE that they offer for women. And so that's one of the things that we're focused on trying to do. And the way that we've approached it is we have a tradeswomen tested end user group. And so from product testing to various ideas and getting feedback on design, we rely on this end user group, which is made up of women who are in various trades to let us know what their opinions are. And so we try to really remain focused on her, and not have it filtered through a third party.
So, what are some things to look for when shopping for safety footwear? Do you have any advice?
Yeah, it's there's a few things super important. Number one, when you're looking for safety footwear, is first of all understand from your safety manager, or your supervisor, what are the requirements that you have for the environment that you're working in. What are the safety features that you need to have in the product that you're looking for? So that's first. Second, um, lots of folks wear a different sock when they work than when they're not working. And so when you're buying a new work boot, work shoe, make sure you're wearing the sock that you'd wear on the job. So if you're wearing a heavier work sock, that's the one you want to wear when you're trying on product. It's also good to go toward the end of the day, because over the course of the day, everybody's feet swell. And so you want to make sure that you're trying them on later in the day. And I always encourage folks to have your feet professionally measured, because everybody has an opinion of what their size is, and it may or may not actually be what your measured size is. And typically, folks will have one foot that might be a little bit bigger than the other, and that's very, very common. So I think if with those things in mind, getting the right boot, not too tight, not too loose, we want it to fit perfectly, and then people can be comfortable and safe and not have to think about their footwear when they're working throughout the day. That's really the goal.
Well, that was my last question for you, but is there anything else you'd like to add? Maybe something I missed or something you want to elaborate on, whether it's like the women's fit
Sure.
products or
Yeah,
anything else you
yeah.
mentioned?
So this is the Troy, one of our newest American-built styles. This is made in our own factory in the US, located in Portland, Oregon, with the best materials sourced from around the world. It's made by American workers for American workers, and we're very proud of it.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining me, Bruce.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity.
And thank you all for watching. This has been Leanne Dehan with Industrial Safety and Hygiene News.